Hey guys, Todd with Great Escape Farms here. I am giving you an update on my 4-year-old food forest. So this is 2018. I started the food forest in, I guess, the summer of 2014. And give you an update here. I have a lot of stuff fruiting now and getting a lot of stuff out of this. Let me just pan around here. So this is actually an extension over here that I've been working on for the last 2 years or so. And this one is a pawpaw tree right here. So love pawpaw trees. I have a number of different mints in here. I have some raspberries right here. Pan in on these guys. So they are starting to fruit, and I actually have some outside of the fence here. You see that one has a fence to keep the deer away. These are actually coming up, and I'm surprised the deer haven't got into this because they love eating the leaves and stuff on those. And that right there is a Nanking cherry bush. I have that one on that side and this one. And this one right here, I just increased the size of the fence on this. This is a mulberry, and you can see right on the top there, the deer have just been tearing this up. So I just went ahead and put a bigger fence on it. Hopefully I can get it up above deer browse, and then it's not that big an issue. And you can see that right there. That's a huge comfrey right there, a Bocking 14 comfrey. And let's see, anything else back here? Nothing too much here. Let me pan around. There's another huge comfrey right here. And you notice these wires here. I've talked about these in the past. This is an electric fence, which right now is turned off. Stuff has been growing too fast. I can't keep you can see down there, the grapes are just growing into it. So when the fall comes around, I'll go ahead and energize. I'll go through and clip everything, and then I'll energize this. But oh wow, I didn't even know I had that coming up there. This right here is an asparagus plant. Hopefully it'll grow up, and there's another one right there. So I put quite a few of them in here. I didn't think any of them made it. I have at least 2, so hopefully those things take off. In here I have blackberries, and I also have muscadine growing. And some of the blackberries you can see in there, red is not ripe. The black ones are becoming ripe. And so this is a quince, or quince. And just to show you, I have a little map here that shows me everything that's planted in here and where it is in relation to stakes and other plants and everything. So I can figure out, so when I have a brain fart like I just did, I can look stuff up. But these things have got some huge fruit on them, and this is I've had fruit on them before, but they haven't lasted this long. Just give you an idea how big it is. So this is August, and I mean, it's fairly decent size, and these will actually stay on until October time frame. So that should be interesting. And one thing I've noticed is I have this quince right here, and you'll notice some of the branches are dying out on it up top, but the other ones are flourishing, and I have fruit on others. Let me pan around here, and I have another one right back there that's doing exactly the same thing. So I'm not quite sure what that is. I'll have to make a note in my journal and see if that's something that happens every year. Actually, while I'm panned around this way, let me show you. That is an elderberry right there, elderberry flower. And I'm surprised that deer have pretty much left this one alone. I've had a lot of issues with deer eating my elderberry leaves, which I wouldn't think they would, because some elderberry is poisonous to some animals, and but they have been eating the heck out of it, with the exception of this plant. So perhaps this is one that is not. I have some other elderberry I'll be showing you that has some good leaves and everything on it. Okay, let me come back here. So let's see, this is a muscadine growing on my electric fence right here. And I brought in a lot of outside carbon material, if you will. So a lot of leaves and stuff. And in that, I had some other seeds mixed up. And this is called a redbud tree right here. And if you notice, they are all over in here. And I probably have several dozen or maybe close to 100 redbuds in here. Now, those are trees. I'm not going to leave them in here. But what I might do is dig them up and sell them. So They're not edible. I haven't really found a use for them. A lot of people think they're pretty, but heck, if they're growing here and if people want to buy them, I'll go ahead and sell them. Okay, let me pan around in this direction here. And elderberry right here, I'm not seeing any fruit on that one. And the muscadine, let me get my bearing here. Actually, the muscadine is right here. So the muscadine runs on that green cable right there, back that way. And there were some muscadines back there. I'm not seeing any right now, but it's a little overgrown. And I'm hoping to get some muscadines here. I have a lot of them at home, but they've been doing very well in here this year. In the past, I haven't had luck. I don't know if it's been the weather or the clay soil or what, but they've done very good in the clay soil this year. Down below, I have some black-eyed Susans, and I'm not going to eat anything on that, but that is just for beneficial insects. And up here I have a couple of little elderberries coming in there. I have more in another area that we'll see a little bit later. And let's see if I can pan in here and not have to get in there. But you can see right there. Actually, let me go ahead and crawl into that area there. So I'm going to have to stop and restart. Okay, so this right here is Aronia, and this is Viking Aronia. I have two different types here. This particular plant is Viking Aronia, and it's also known as chokeberry. So I definitely have quite a few of those fruiting in here. I don't see any others close by. And in the back there, just loads and loads and loads of blackberries all over the place. And the blackberries have been fruiting for probably about 6 weeks now, so I'm getting a super huge, long season with the blackberries this year. And I just spotted, if you notice that tall tree right here that's up close to us, that is a Cornus moss. Don't have any fruit on it this year. I did get a couple flowers, so hopefully next year I'll get some flowers. And pan around, there's another Cornus moss. I have several of them throughout here. And let's see, this is a mint of some type, and let me go ahead and give this a try. So just by smelling it, that is a catnip mint, and that is a medicinal plant. Off and show you, these are some bags of leaves I had from the fall, and that's all going to go in here. If you notice, it's a little overgrown right now, and what I need to do is I have some cardboard, and I'm going to weed as much as I can, just lay the weeds down, put the cardboard on top, and then put leaves on top of that, and then I'll put either mulch or hay or something on top of that to hold it in place so the wind doesn't blow it. And that'll take care of a lot of the weed pressure here. But just been too busy with other things going on this year. So back to the tour. Right back there is some autumn olive, which is right next to some comfrey, and in there somewhere is a bush or a tree that I'm trying to grow. Back behind, I know I have an entire row of blueberries back there that you just can't see from this angle. And if you've noticed, that crazy little black and white thing around here is my rat terrier trying to chase chipmunks and everything else out in here. So he's having a blast, but he definitely likes to be in all my videos. So another autumn olive there, another comfrey next to that. This is, let's see, I have an Aronia plant right here. I don't know if it would be a Viking or a McKinsey. I'd have to look at my sheet. Right here I have some more mint, and this particular mint is lemon balm. And over here I have some mountain mint, and I actually have another video I took last night of just all the different bees and everything else flying around here. I just caught it at a very good time. There was a lot of stuff flying around and circulating in here. Beneficial insects. And there is another Quince right there. You can see it is fruiting as well, not quite as big as the other ones. And look at those blackberries right there coming in. Definitely had a good harvest of blackberries this year. I have the Egyptian walking onions. I can see the top right here, these will all come off. Each one will be an onion, and I have a number of those spread throughout. And I forgot to show you earlier, I have on the other area that I had covered, I had a bunch of chives. So we have garlic chives and onion chives in here. And this one right here with the big leaves, that is a Chicago hardy fig that made it through the winter and actually is doing pretty good. Haven't really looked to see if I have any fruit. I have about 4 or 5 of these spread throughout in here. And the bigger tree in the back, I'm gonna have to step back for this one, but that great big green one right there, that is a Wellington mulberry. And it did have some fruit this year. I missed it. It was just starting to ripen, and I went away for a couple of weeks. I had to do some business travel, and I came back and they were all gone. So I'm sure the critters had their way with that. This variegated plant right here, this is a silverberry, and it is a nitrogen fixer and also produces a little bit of fruit and just an interesting look in here. So once I get everything cleaned out and with the leaves and everything else down here, that would just be a good accent plant with a nice look to it. In the back I have an elderberry, and you can see some fruit there and some other elderberries back here. And let me see if I can zoom in on that. If you see that red fruit right back there, that is the rosehips of a Rosa rugosa, and that is extremely high in vitamin C and very good for you. Back this way I have a whole bunch of other things, and let's see, yeah, let me go ahead and crawl in there and see that. You can see right here up front I have another Nanking cherry bush here. I also have Korean bush cherry in here and a number of other things. Let me just pan back so you can see everything that we've seen so far from this direction. And let me stop and actually get into this fenced area here. Okay, so this is a McKinsey Aronia down here and another elderberry, and I just looked at my little map and there's an awful lot of repeats here. Actually, a couple of things I didn't point out, but I have them thrown throughout. This is an ever-bearing strawberry, so you can see the strawberry leaves in there. This is August. Most strawberries, non-ever-bearing type, are going to bloom in June, and this is August, and I have one just starting out there. So I get, if I kept up with it and track these things down, I could have probably a strawberry or a couple of strawberries a day. And if I kept up with the weeding and everything, I could probably have a good cup full of strawberries every day. Let's see, I'm pointing out the Aronia. Down here I have dock. I have several different types of dock in here that can be used in salads. I also have bloody dock in here, which is a variety that you'll find in a lot of the oh wow, I didn't realize I had a daikon radish growing in here. I planted those several years back and they came back. I have some yarrow in here. That's that white flower right there that can be used as a medicinal. Let's see, several different types of mint. I would have to try these out to see what flavor they are. For the most part, what I have in here are mountain mint, lemon balm. I do have some, darn, I forget the name of it now, but some of the licorice flavor, anise type mint in here. And the reason I have those in here is that they're not big spreaders. They grow tall, but they don't spread out a lot. I have a lot of the spreading type mint in my perennial garden. So a lot of different repeats back in here. Like I say, this one we hadn't talked about yet. That one is a plum. I have several other fruit trees in another part of the house or the yard. We already saw this elsewhere, but just I can't really get a good shot from here. But if you can see that head right there, that is a whole bunch of raspberries that are getting ready to bloom. And actually, let's see if I can get that right there. That's another whole group of raspberries that are just starting to come along here. So lots and lots of fruit in here, and as well as some other support species and everything. But this is my 4-year food forest. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please consider subscribing. Have a great day.